my little stars, and welcome back to If Underfell by the darkpetal16. We are currently traversing down the Friendship Road and we've just hit the core city. We're about to literally go in and then get bombarded probably by Metaton, I'm assuming, at this point. And then comes the most trifling thing called Judgment Hall. The one section that always makes me scream, blue murders at the certain skeleton. Not going to name him at the moment. I'll name him whenever he comes up. But he starts with an S and ends with an S. His name is very small. That being said, as much as I love that skeleton, he still doesn't need to freaking murder me. So, what has happened so far? If you'd like a little quick recap, we saved Elphys, we saved Indai, we saved a kid, and I got skewered through the leg, but my leg got healed. Oh, and also Flowey's gone. Literally, I lost my flower companion again because I decided his happiness was more important than my sanity. Because Flower Child. That being said, we are still on the Friendship Road. We have all the items we need thus far, so let's just get going. Oh my, that's nice. It is neither hot nor too cold. It's a pleasant temperature when you enter the city entrance through the double doors, the magnificent double doors. Ooh, how grand. Ooh, it's so lovely that it brings you an immediate smile to your face. Your tootsies can finally catch a break and your poor skin's weeping joy from no longer being in a lava cavern. There's a glistening fountain at the centre with some monsters mingling around it. The ground is paved with well-maintained purple... For some reason, my brain was reading something completely different. Excuse me. With a well-maintained purple brick road, there are streetlights all over, each casting a soft violet-red glow. A glance up shows a tall, very, very tall ceiling with what looks to be hanging houses. You can see monsters with wings flying up to the building. Some of them have feathered wings, some of them have insect wings. You can even see a pair of beautiful butterfly wings that leave behind a dusty trail with each flap. Oh, that reminds me of a comic I saw. Oh gosh, I can never remember the name of these comics. Somebody out there is going to remember this comic. It's an Undertale one. And the girl, at the start, it's a little soul that's in a different colour. And, it has fairy wings stuck to the back of it, and as the story progresses, it's like a ghost, and then it turns out it's actually a fairy. Sans accidentally freaks out at one point and drops her. Oh god, what is that comic I'm thinking of that's about a ghost girl who's got fairy wings? Dang it! Why do I always suddenly remember these things, but then I can't remember the actual comic that it's from? Ah! Dang it! Someone's gonna know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be like, she's a little crazy, isn't she? Yeah, I'm a little crazy, okay? Moving on, it's either that or it's Tinkerbell, but I know it's not Tinkerbell I'm talking about because it's big butterfly wings. The first building you see is something with a sign that reads MTT Resort and Spa. The brick road splits off on the right and the left side of the building, where you see even more buildings. You can't get a good look at all of them yet. It definitely feels like you entered a city in a cave, a magical city. There are many more monsters around than at Snoodin, everybody! Snowden. You see them coming and going down the path, groups of them rotating in and out of MTT Resort and Spa. They remind you of people. Regular people going about their day. Perhaps they're on their way to work, home, or to meet up with friends. For the first time since the start of your journey, there is no silence. You hear people, monsters talking, laughing, and swearing. You hear shouts, yells, screams, and everything in between. You see teenagers jostling and heckling one another. Regularity. You want to say it's nice. You want to say it makes you happy. It almost does. But you've been here long enough, you know better. Also, why would seeing teenager jostling and heckling one another make you smile? To me, I'm just like, that is a fight waiting to happen. Someone's going to be laughing, and then there's going to be crying. Alright, where was I? Oh yes, if you compare what you see to what you see in a human city, the difference is palpable. They laugh because they have to. Again, you think to yourself how frustrating it must be. There is no wind here. The air is stagnant and there's no sunlight. The atmosphere is cold and it's quiet and there's no freedom. Everyone and everything is restricted. The city is as charming as it is stifling. The air is stale, well-worn and used, and the city is duly coloured, an endless repeat of purple, red and black. You see no vents, nor sewer systems. You doubt it rains here. It's a magical city filled with powerful monsters who breathe wonder and magic. It's a sad city filled with trapped people who have not seen a sunrise in centuries. You were told this world was kill or be killed. You don't believe that's necessary. The barrier stays by its own design. They can choose to be free, but are they aware they have that choice? Of course they're not aware. Why would Asgore make them even a little bit aware of that fact? It's Asgore. All he cares right now is being a miserable little biscuit. Human. Two monsters in black and red armor approach you. They are tall, muscular, and imposing. Their armor is styled like knights of old, and they each carry a trident. Trident, huh? I wonder who that also represents, huh? Asgore. You can conclude they are from the Royal Guards, as their outfits do remind you of Papyrus and Undie. The first one approaches you and says, "You are Twinkle?" You confirm you are, and you introduce yourself. "We were ordered to keep an eye on you," explained the other guard. "Undie and Papyrus said not to kill you unless you, act aggressively." Oh gosh, act aggressively. If you get between me and food, then I'll act aggressively. Or if you get between me, shiny things, or me and plushies. Especially plushies. I love plushies. I have a problem. Or preferably between me and my favourite Sans. Okay, maybe there's a lot of things that make me act aggressive. Yeah. We could be all day if I keep talking. Wow, gosh, I'm tired because I'm muttering and going off in a tangent. You assure them that you have no intention of doing that. They give you a thumbs up. Eee! You beam and turn the gesture. "What the fuck?" says a shrilled voice. You and the two guardsmen are approached by a group of monsters ranging from a cat-like monster, a mini volcano monster, and several bat-like monsters. The cat monster growled. "You're letting a human go? What if it attacks us?" Look, if I was going to attack you, I would have freaking done it by now. You're a freaking cat. Give me, I want to touch your ears. If you're a cat, I want to touch your face. You're so cute and fluffy. I want to touch your paw pads. If you have any. But yes, honestly, if I would have attacked you, I would have done it by now. I'd be like, "Oh, you're so cute, you're so fluffy." "Humanity is our enemy," says the volcano monster. You are technically humanity's enemy anyway, because you are a volcano. Do you know how many people died by volcanoes? I'm just saying, you are part of nature itself. You are a force to be reckoned with. It makes sense that you are an enemy to humanity. You're a force of nature. We can't trust it. Arrest it at least. Excuse you? Why would you need to trust me if I'm not going to talk to you? I'm not going to go near you. What is this need for trust? I don't know. You look at you, accusing me of doing something. How rude. Terrible manners these monsters have. I'm just saying, there's me, minding my own business, and then all of a sudden they're like, just having a go. They're being speciesist. They're being racist to me. They're having a go at me because I'm a human. They don't know anything about me, and they're just like, "No, I am a woman. I have boobs." Moving on. Tut. What have we here? Well, I can confirm I am a woman. All the monsters turn to the new voice. The monster speaking looks like a humanoid robot. He has black hair that's been greased back, 2 pairs of yellow eyes, and 2 sets of arms. He wears neon pink knee-high spandex boots with heels and black spiked pants. He has tall black shoulder pads. He wears neon pink and yellow gloves and has a broken heart belt around his waist. His smile is wide and reminds you of how news anchors smile on TV. Not sincere, but not mean either. "Matt explains the volcano monster. Oh my stars, it's such an honor. Wow, you're easily distracted, aren't you, you little volcano vermin? I wouldn't normally say this, but honestly, he said that, you know, humanity is their enemy. He 100% doesn't want to be my friend. He already chose. He made sides. He shots were fired. Shots were fired by him. I don't care, even if he's cute. And I love the volcano monster. I think that the design of him is so freaking adorable. Can we get an autograph? Asked the bat monster. Of course, says Mettaton. But it'll have to be later, dearies. Mettaton turns to you and winks. I've got plans for this human. He does. You do, says one of the royal guards. Yes, I do. Mettaton comes to stand beside you and places one of his arms around your shoulder. You don't mind, do you? The royal guards shake their head. Well, looks like you're going with the new monster anyway, because nobody's gonna stop him. Really? You're told to keep an eye on me, and he's just like, oh, you don't mind if I take this human off of your hands, do you? Nah, totally take them. We're not gonna say anything to Papyrus. Or Undyne. Okay, I see what it is. Just pass me off to the next monster, huh? Out of sight, out of mind. Fine. Fantastic, he says. Mettaton guides you to a tall building with a bright pink neon sign that reads MTT. There are framed pictures of Mettaton on each signpost, and even a statue of his likeness is built next to another statue of a square robot with arms, aka another version of himself. You are whisked inside, the air chillier than outside. It's also much brighter. You had become accustomed to the comforting dim streetlights, so the bright white lights inside momentarily blind you. You blink several times to help your indigo eyes adjust. Mettaton does not wait for you to adapt. He continues to usher you inside with a loud, mind the step, darling! You reflexively look down to try and spot the step. You trip over it, but manage to save yourself from completely falling over. Where exactly has Mettaton taken you? Simply just, decided to literally take this random human off the street and oh my god, I'm gonna make you a star! Mettaton clears his throat. Try not to die on camera, darling. Wait, what do you mean die on camera? It's the fact that I tripped. Did you really... You could have tried to catch me. You've got multiple arms, Mettaton. I'm just saying. Camera, to your surprise, it looks like you walked into a set. Specifically a talk show. Yeah. There are two luxurious hot pink lounge chairs with yellow throw pillows at the center of the set. In between them is a black coffee table that blends in with the black tile floor. Behind the chair is a huge monitor that currently shows a silhouette of Mettaton, and across him reads, talking with Mettaton. Outside the set you see a few crew of monsters. There are many cameras, computer stations, and even a little buffet off to the side. You recognize one of the monsters. It's Napsterblook! Oh, freaking Napsterblook's adorable. You smile and wave at Napsterblook. The ghost's mouth wobbles before they smile back. You notice they have a pair of headphones. Oh, so freaking cute. I love when he wears the headphones. That's so adorable. And there are around several microphones. Maybe they manage the sound design. That sounds like a fun job. Welcome to my show, says Mettaton. Mettaton, sir. One of the monsters approaches and gives you a weary look. Hey, what's with the freaking looks? Change your plans, everyone, says Mettaton. Tea time is cancelled. There is a collection of awls from the crew. Many hang their heads. You notice a few of them are wearing shirts with a picture of Mettaton sipping tea, and it reads, Mettaton knows all the tea. We have something even better for tonight's show, says Mettaton. A human. The arena's reserved by the Royal Guards this week. We can't host a death march, a bit like monster protest. Excuse you, why is everyone just instantly in for kill, 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 get rid of it, throw it in jail, kill it, burn it with fire? You guys need a restraining order on you at this point. My god, I'm trying to be your friend and you're not giving me a good impression of what I should expect from monsters. I understand you've gone through 100 humans prior, but for first impressions, you're not doing a good one on me. Just saying. We're not going to make the human fight. That's so ring, says Metatron. The monsters stare at Metatron in plain disbelief, and Metatron puts his hand on his hips and glares. Are you going to argue with me? They shake their head. Then let's get a move on. Everyone to their places. The show starts in a few minutes. Human darling, go take a seat. You sit in a plush hot pink chair and you sink into it. Metatron sits in the chair opposite you. He crosses his leg and says, You must be dying to know why someone so famous has brought you here today. You wouldn't like to know what was going on. It's simple. I wanted to ask you questions. You answer them all without issues or lying, then I'll let you go and you're free to leave. He winks at you. Isn't that easy? Think of it as a pay me back for helping you. Helping me from what? Oh yeah, you mean protecting me from the monsters that are just being anti-human? I mean, I was fine. The guards maybe would have stepped in. I mean, I could have run, right? I could have run for it. I mean, it probably wouldn't have gone far, but I could have tried. You're happy to answer his questions when you put it that way, but you have some question of your own first, if that's okay with him. Ask away. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to skip to, of course, learn about your soul, and then we're going to skip to the end, because we've already seen this part multiple times, so I'll just, of course, get to the end part where new dialogue is, or technically where we continue on from the scene. Let's see. Metatron pressed and he smiled, widening. I saw it, your soul, it's orange. You know what they say about that soul color, don't you? You shake your head. Orange like the setting sun, a brave soul. You have to be an Underfell. You never even considered your soul color representing some kind of trait, but when you think of yourself, the first trait that does come to mind is bravery. A curious thought process. It's surprisingly accurate. You'd always face your fears without hesitation. Metatron clasps all four of his hands together. Well, aren't you going to show it? You hesitate. Oh well, and you present your soul. Tell me, darling, is there anyone in Underfell that has caught your attention? Nope, because we're on the friendship route. Well, that's dull, says Metatron. Men looks at the crew behind the spotlight and squints his eyes briefly. Oh dear, looks like we're out of time today, Twinkle darling. Thank you for coming on. You say you were happy too. Such a dear. Metatron pulls your head down and gives you a kiss on top of your head. It feels like a small static shock. A lot better than Sanse's buzzer. The spotlights and cameras turn off and you rub the top of your head. Your scalp tingles from the kiss. He says, as promised, you are now free to go, although I do recommend looking around the city before you head up. You smile and say you will. Metatron winks at you. Break a leg, darling. Stay safe. Yes, you'll stay safe, as safe as you possibly can, considering that there is still a sand between you, Asgore, and the barrier. Yep. Gonna stay safe, I promise. Not going to break a leg. Before you leave, one of the crew members give you a small pouch of something, some spanty money for your cooperation, they explain. That is sweet of them. You heartily thank them before you leave. Once outside, your eyes need a few seconds to readjust to the dim light. You are now free to explore this city. Where do you go? You decide to take a walk around the city. The city has grown dark. There are less people out than before, and the streetlights are dimmer than when you first entered. It occurred to you that you do not know the time. Perhaps it is evening now. You don't know how long you've been down here, and with your phone dead, you have no clock. You walk aimlessly through the streets. The city is larger than you expected, but nowhere near the size of some human cities. The handful of monsters you do see all take note of you. None approach you. However, you are pleasantly surprised that a few offer you a polite nod or even cautiously smile. Maybe your time at Metatron show helped. It did seem like a lot of monsters were commenting. Some of the comments flew by too quickly for you to read them all. You hope it did help. If monsters aren't opposed to peace with humanity, then perhaps they'd be willing to let the barrier down and rejoin the surface. You are so certain they would be welcomed. Actually, considering the magic crisis, you have a good feeling they'd be zealously hailed as heroes. Humanity would throw them a parade. Biscuits, humanity would probably make them Make their rejoining a holiday. That'd be nice. You'd love to get another day off in the year. You slow down as you walk. You are nearing the end of your journey. Is there anything you are forgetting? You want to help the entity. You decide to check up on him again. You need to find a spot out of the way. You know going into the void tires you out. You move off to the main road and lean against the side of one of the buildings. You take a deep breath and steady your heart. You put your hands in your pocket and you feel the paper you were taken earlier. That's right, you took out the paper and you looked at it. The more you stare at it, the more you feel like you know these symbols. How do you know these symbols? You think carefully. They are not symbols you've seen on the surface, and you are very certain they do not look like any of the dead human language, nor is there any similarity to the current written language. Did you see them in the ruins? But no, you couldn't read the symbols in the ruin. These you should be able to read, or at least you think you should be able to read. Why? You squint your eyes. Then it occurs to you. The entity with all the hands. These symbols, they look how the entity talks in your head. If that static language had a written one, you're positive this is it. Does this belong to the entity? Let's find out. You close your eyes and let yourself slip into the void. Hands are on you right away. Hello, dear friend. Grounding me again, I see. Touchy, touchy. Watch the way you put in your hands. That horrible wrongness prevails over all else. But at the hands are familiar. You know these hands. These are the entities. Has the entity found a way out of the void? Not yet. Does he recognize the paper in your pocket? The hand moves down you. You feel them slide across your abdomen inside. They rummage through your sweater pocket. There is a long pause. Yes! There is excitement in the entity's voice. This is mine. I remember now. I know who I am. I am Wingeding's caster. That's wonderful. Does that mean he knows how to escape? Maybe. Let me think it over. All around good news. You're relieved to leave the void, both because it's a horrible place you hate and because Wingedings might be able to escape. Oh, biscuits, you want to throw up. You brace yourself against your knees and take many deep breaths. You really hate that place. You start to wander around the city. You want to walk off the feeling of being in the void. Oh boy. Okay, the thing is, so we're getting closer and closer to where Sans is, and I'm not looking forward to that. Maybe he's gonna be nicer. Let's see, you're good with the crafty stuff. It'd be a fun little project to repurpose your sweater, considering how banged up, burnt and ripped it's become during this whole entire journey. I'm looking at you and I. You like the surface. And while your trip to Underfell has not been easy, you do like it here. You like the monsters, even though some are quite rude. You have a mental picture of the monsters on the surface. You imagine them seeing the sun for the first time. You've perfectly pictured their smiles when they feel their first breeze. And oh, when they smell the spring flowers and hear the ocean waves. The thought warms you from the inside out. You feel a tenderness inside of you that cannot be squished. You want to make that vision a reality. You will make it a reality. You are filled with determination. Human. You are startled by the familiar voice. You turn around and spot Undai exiting a building. She's carrying a red sack. You smile and greet Undai. Yeah, says Undai. She walks over you, her only visible eye narrowed. She looks you up and down. You got healed. Yes, you did. No thanks to Undai. That's good, she says. She turns about her other hand. You notice it's partially filled with food. I heard you on MTT. You perked up. They played it all the stores here when it aired, she grumbles. You really believe that? You definitely do. You sincerely believe that human and monsters could find peace together. And I briefly smiles at you. I don't know. You talk a big game, human. You're confident? It can be backed up. I'm a warrior. I don't trust in words. I trust in action, she said. Show me you mean it. How? She taps her chest and raises her chin. One punch. You stare at her in disbelief. She wants you to hit her. Yeah, one punch. You, you give her a quick punch like you would a friend. What the hell was that? She said, laughing. You call that a punch? The kids down here hurt a lot more. You smile sheepishly. I figured you'd do something like that, she says, considering how our encounter went and all. She grins. I know you're strong. You pull me up. I can also tell you don't have an ounce of malice in you. You wouldn't have saved me otherwise. Your smile stretches into a grin. You hope that means the two of you can become friends now. Ha! And Di barks at her laugh. You got guts, human. Huh. She rolls her shoulders. I'm Di, captain of the Royal Guards. You introduce yourself. Good to meet you, Twinkle. We are officially acquaintances. As for friends, you'll have to survive a lot longer in Underfell for that title. You'll do your best. If you don't mind me asking, how did you get healed? Asked Di. You start to recount what had happened in Hotland. What, error? And Di immediately tenses when you explain what you saw on the monitors in the lab. She pulls a rectangular device from her front pants pocket. She flips it open with one hand and you realise it's a flip phone. You hadn't seen the monster version of a phone before. You take a step forward, curious to get a better look. There are many similarities to an old model of a phone, although it has more buttons and the screen is smaller. And Di clicks through the messages using the arrow buttons below the screen. So it's not a touch phone like yours. And she sucks her teeth. I don't see any messages, she mumbles. Was she expecting a message? Alfie, well, you saw the lab, she asks. At your nod, she continues. You know she works alone. If there's an incident at the lab, a notification should push through to all the Royal Guards. Oh, I thought there was no... Yeah, why was there no notification? Did someone turn that off? Gaster, what did you do? Gaster, was this really attempted murder? Are you freaking lying to me in your special extra scene at the end? Are you lying? Did you secretly try to attempt to murder someone and Alphys just accidentally got in the way? Were you trying to kill Asgore? I'd be fine with that. I shouldn't say that. Shame on me. That means if you had left the lab, there was a good chance that no one would have found Dr. Alphys. And Di shuts her phone with a snap. She okay? You confirm she is. You left Flowey with her. Right. She puts her phone back in her pocket and scratches her red hair. Give me the rundown of what happened at the lab. You do. You're reminded of the paper you took. Maybe Di can read it. You pull out the paper from your pocket. Whoa, that's Dr. Gaster's code, she says. I haven't seen that in a long time. Did you know Wingedings? Kind of. He was a royal scientist. He ran the lab back in the day, she says. Crazy genius. Emphasizing the crazy. You think of your own encounter with Wingedings. He didn't strike you as crazy. Then again, how did he end up in the void? You're lucky you never met him. He'd have used you as a test subject in a heartbeat. Alfie said he was always obsessed with testing souls, she says. Your smile becomes a little forced. You ask her if she can read the paper. Not me, she says. But Parser Sans probably could, seeing as Wingedings is their brother. Well then. I should probably go and check up on Alfie, she says. She lightly taps your shoulders once with the back of her fist. You understand? Take care, Twinkle. Uh-huh. It's time to leave. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Oh, no. 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 We're going to Judgment Hall. This is the part where Judgment... Shut up, Squeaky Mouse. I heard you squeak then. So sorry about that. You've come so far. You died 9 times. Okay. Who needs romance when you got friends? You're on the friendship route. The gold chain's in your pocket. Toy Story and MTT. The dog. Shiren. Alphys. Oh, God. It's the elevator. Oh, God. I'm going to face scenes. I'm gonna die. Oh, my God. Okay, let's just get this over with. Okay, time to do it. You enter the elevator. When you step off, you enter a long corridor filled with golden light. There are stone pillars of creamy gold with chiseled designs lining the corridor. The tiled floor is mosaic with a beautiful swirling motif, and all along the walls are windows that filter in a golden light. It reminds you of the golden hour on the surface, with how softly warm it is. It has a tall ceiling, tall enough that with each step you take, it makes an echo. What a pretty place. And it looks like you aren't alone. You see Sans. Hey, Sans. Hey, human. He looks at you. He has a sharp, toothy grin on his face, but you don't see any warmth to it. His scarlet eyelids are burning as they meet your indigo ones. Your face scrunches up as you warily eye the skeleton. Sans already killed you before. You wonder if he'll do it again. You greet Sans. You know, the surface can't be any better than here. I've seen humans that come in here before. Their souls told the story. Sans puts his red-gloved hand in his pockets. Humans kill, children die. You're either born with the power to survive or you're born to be consumed by others. Lovely thought. You're from. The surface isn't perfect, but it's not be killed world like Underfell. I know you think that, he says. Save or be saved, right? That's what you say on the show. Yes. He looks up at the ceiling and chuckles. Hey, buddy. Knock, knock, no. Who's there? There's a glint of yellow in his right eye. When you're suddenly impaled through the head, you have died. Not you. Here comes Sans. Well, at least he's not being, rude. You step off the elevator and resign to this encounter. You had a feeling this was coming since he killed you in Snowden. You had hoped it could be avoided, but, well, here you are. Sans. Why, Sans? Why? See, I knew it was funny you didn't take my hand, says Sans. You're one of those special humans, huh? The real special kind. Not just a visible soul one that stays. Damn. Sans sighs. You're not gonna make this easy on me, are you, pal? He knows. How much does he know? His golden tooth glints in the warm light. And the warm lighting as he smirks. You ain't the first, and you won't be the last human with a soul strong enough to hang on after death. He tilts his head. He stretches out his arms wide. Over 100 humans have come to Underfell. Not one has made out of life spite they're special. Can you guess why? You shake your head. I couldn't fathom at all. It probably nothing to do with the skeleton in front of me. Papyrus has captured 20 humans and killed 2 of them. And I killed 15 and captured 5. Who do you think handled the rest? Allow me to reintroduce myself, Indigo Eyes. You know my name. Sans gives you a mocking bow. I am Sans Gasher, the judge. I've encountered 60 humans and I've killed 60 humans. Sans straightens up and his sharp tooth smile is cold. I see him coming through the ruins, and if they're weak enough, I let them through. Want to give Pops a good chance to have fun, you know? Like any good brother. But the other ones with levels, I take care of them. And the ones that are weak and slip through, I clean them up here, in this hall. My hall. He puts his hands back in his pockets. You asked Sans why he had his name redacted in the Boss Monster book. I've got no obligation to explain that to you, he says. Press your lips and your soul shines brightly at your chest. He raises his arms in a beckoning gesture. Take one step forward and I'm going to have one hell of a time. You decide to stupidly take a step forward because you really want to die that badly. There's a tight grip around your soul and you're lifted off the ground. And you place a dozen red spider bones, shoot it from the ground, and you're slammed into the bones with enough force to turn you into a pile of mush. You've died. Welcome to hell. Biscuits. Then you step off of the elevator. You tell me you don't want to fight. I know, he says. That's a fucking issue. You're about to respond, but you see him raise his right hand very rudely, and then some red, sharp, jagged bones are conjured in the surrounding air. They shoot straight at you and instantly impale you through the head. You instantly died. You have died. You exit the elevator. Ugh, he says when he sees you. Well, that was just rude. You tell me you don't understand why he's doing this. You aren't a threat. You'd never hurt him or any other monster. That ain't the issue, he says. Your belief is what's dangerous. Heh. You think 'cause you're nice the other humans will be too. That ain't how it's been going, buddy. Over 100 humans have fallen in here, and you're the first one not to attack or scream at us, he says. You're the exception, not the rule. The barrier comes down, it's gonna lead to another war. You can't know that for sure, and you can't know it won't happen, he says. Yes, you can. You know it won't. That there is why you're so damn dangerous, he snaps. The propaganda is lethal, out there giving them hope when there aren't any. Yes, there is. There's always hope for a better tomorrow, and the better tomorrow has finally arrived. Human and monsters can live together. It's proof because you've been literally wandering around Underfell with Flowey. And Flowey has been super nice, and you saved and died, and you also saved Alphys, and you were nice to Sans, even if he freaking killed you more than once. But, oh well. Bullshit. Humans have been living, growing, and fucking for centuries. But as monsters, we've been stagnant. We ain't got the space to expand our population, so we stop. We know humans outnumber us 100 to 1. You break the barrier, be a slaughter. You argue that won't happen. Humans have changed. Besides, they become more lazy. Not to mention, you guys literally have magic. The slaughter probably wouldn't be on the side of the humans. The slaughter would probably be on the side of the monsters. They would probably kill the humans. You guys are pretty bullshit. Let's be honest. Instant fireball incineration, magical bones, gaster blasters. You really think humanity can handle you guys? Really? You think humanity can survive against you lot? Really? My goodness. You're delusionally biased, he said. I'm done talking. This was your last courtesy since you didn't hurt anyone. Your sharp-toothed glints in the golden light. Bye, loser. You are pale from behind, and you have died. Prepare for the cycle of death. You have died. Died. Endure. Don't give up. Persevere. Stay brave. Hold on. Oh, fuck me, he says when he sees you. Do me a favor, buddy Indigo Eyes, and stop coming back. I got better things to do with my time than keep killing you. Then you don't kill me. Simple as, you know? You don't need to do that. You can just, leave me be. Huh? Tell me totally agree. You should totally leave the human alone. You take a step forward, remaining firm. You think you can just out-stubborn me? Sans laughs. You think I'll just throw in the towel if you keep coming back? That ain't how it's been working, Toots. I will break you. You continue to walk forward, and he's glaring at you the entire time. You make it a few steps, then feel his magical grip on your heart. Will you stop touching my soul? Seriously, ask for permission first, Mr. Handsy McHandsy. What is this? Is there something that runs in the skeleton family? My God, stop it. He says, you ain't gonna win this one. You won't give up, and I highly doubt it. I've won every single battle with you, Sans. So yeah, I've got better chances of... Why is my freaking accent going Scottish again? Why? He asked. You don't know us. You got no reason to try so hard. You raise your chin. It's common sense to help someone who needs it. He flinches. We don't need help. That's not true, Sans. I've gone through this so many times now. I know. That's absolute lie. It is lies. You also choked on a chimichanga. Stop bringing that up. Nope. I will forever bring up the fact that you choked on a chimichanga and you could not handle it. You gesture at the window to the city below. The monsters inside speak for themselves. You feel their pain. You feel their isolation. You feel their stagnation. They deserve to feel the sun. You tell Sans he deserves to feel the sun. A shudder goes through him. His red eyelids waver in his sockets and he screams about, the fuck do you know? He grips on your soul, again, without asking permission first. Tightens and he throws you back. It's not a death, but it creates a purposeful distance. You appreciate the fact he didn't kill you this time. He snarls with venom in his voice. You're fucking stubborn. It was being nice and all since you didn't hurt anyone, but not anymore. That was him being nice. No, that was him throwing a tantrum. You're abundantly pale through both of your feet. Red bones sticking out from the floor and pinning your feet to where you stand. Immediately pain shoots through you. You reflect in the crowd in agony as more bones pierce through your shoulders and into one of your arms. Chunks of your flesh falling onto the floor and you see bits of your bones sticking out in places they should not be. Again, to Sans, after you do Sans says romance and stuff, surely what he does to you in Judgment Hall, surely he must get nightmares from this, right? He must get some PTSD or something, instantly regretting or fearing that he's going to have a nightmare at some point of thinking you're not going to come back if you no longer have the reset ability and stuff, you know. Pain. That's the only thing you can progress. Dilapidating, agonizing, horrific pain. I better get a freaking date scene with you, Sans, in the end of your route at some point, considering all the BS I've had to put up with you. And I love you to pieces, Sans. Oh, I love you too, sweetheart. I still don't forgive you, though, for trying to kill me with a buzzer. Oh, come on. It was once. It wasn't just once, Sans. It was every single route. It's not my fault it's written that way. Shush! Stop breaking the fourth wall. You were breaking the fourth wall. I had to. I'm tired. I do stupid stuff when I'm tired. Shut up. dilapidating, agonizing, horrific pain. It hurts. It does not burn. It is not cold. There is no tearing. There is no sensation other than pain. Your whole body involuntarily shakes, and you think you will die from the intensity of agony. You will not allow death. Nothing has hurt so much before. There is no comparison to this torture. No death comes close to the purposeful torment you are currently enduring. Pain, and that's all you can process. But, you know, even with all that, your soul is still beautiful. Your bravery is unwavering. You illuminate the world around you with your blaze. They need you. You are you. You alone are enough to conquer this pain. Your determination flares through you and the world becomes muted. You stop trembling and you can think again. Twinkle is Twinkle, you are you, and you're in a cage of bones. You raise your head and you meet his gaze. You will not give up. He flinches and you are impaled. And so the cycle starts anew. Stay determined. This isn't the end. You won't let it be. Not for you. Not for them. Not for anyone. You linger in the elevator. Staring in the elevator won't change anything, but you need a moment to recollect yourself. You've died 174 times. All of Sansa's kills have been instantaneous. You've not felt any pain from most of those deaths, but it is still disorienting to go through the golden hallway to darkness and back within seconds. You take a deep breath and you run your fingers through your long hair. You step off the elevator and Sans gives you an odd look. He's probably like, oh, God alive, how many more times are you going to keep coming off this goddamn elevator? I want to go home. I'm tired. I want my mustard. Red beads of sweat cover his forehead. He wipes at them with the back of his right hand. Yeah. Sans sighs and clutches at fucking resets. Absolute BS. I freaking hate my job. You tell Sans you won't hurt him. He stares at you a long time. You know, he's honestly like, I don't believe you. Considering how many times I've killed you, I'm pretty sure you've gone more peeved at me than anything. Yeah, but I still forgive. I'm a very forgiving person. No matter how many times you kill me, Sans, I'm going to forgive you. I shouldn't, but I do. That being said, he stares at you for a long time. You can see he's visibly tired. As much of a struggle as it's been for you, perhaps it is for him. He's aware of the resets in some capacity. Mentally going back in time must be dizzying at the very least. He hasn't attacked you. You tell Sans you don't want to hurt anyone, least of all him. He continues to stare at you in silence. You ask him to please give you a chance. If I trust you and I'm wrong, it ain't just my head on the line, he says. You won't be. And he won't be. Sans looks at the ceiling, and then he falls back onto his butt and leans back on his arms. He doesn't speak for several minutes. When you realize nothing will happen, you slowly approach him. Hug him. You sit down and pull Sans into a hug. Dumbass, he says. He hesitantly pats your back. I'm a dumbass. You're a dumbass, if I'm honest. Constantly trying to freaking murder me. You're the only reason we were still here this whole entire time. You could have given up at any point, but you chose to be just as stubborn as me. You could have had your hug a lot sooner, and cuddles. You pull away and sit beside him. You give him a lopsided smile, and you say you'd like to be his friend. Freak, he says. Whatever, do whatever you want. You stay seated beside him. He pulls his hood up so you can no longer see his face. Hey, pal? Yeah? Is the sun really warm? He asks you. Yes. And the stars? You always see them? At night, yes. Hey. Sans flops onto his back. He looks exhausted. I guess this was gonna happen one day. At least I'll get a view before I dust. You tell him you won't dust. You're not gonna let him dust. Yeah, okay. He closes his eyes. I'll trust you, Twinkle. You give him a smile, because he finally said your goddamn name. After, being slightly rude about my name, you still owe me a slight apology for that as well. You sit in silence for a few more minutes until Sans breaks it. He says, knock knock. Who's there? Sar who? Sorry, he says. And his body is gone in a shimmer of red. You have completed Judgment Hall. Sans, stop freaking murdering people, please. You'd be mad if you weren't planning to romance him next. That being said, Who needs romance when you got friends? You're on the friendship route. I think I'm still technically doing the right thing by here with him. Okay, so we just finished Judgment Hall, meaning it is time to go and face Asgore. Either that or maybe we just skip entirely over and go straight for the barrier. I prefer that. I'd rather not deal with this sneaky Asgore. But I guess we'll find out next time. Those curious about what the difference is if you hug Sans or if you just sit beside him. When you sit beside him, Sans doesn't apologize, but if you hug him, he'll apologize to you. So if you want your apology that badly, hug the skeleton and then he'll say he's sorry, because then he feels bad for doing what he did. Otherwise, I don't know. I guess he's just like, yeah, no, I'm still not ready to give you an apology after all this. But at least he stays put. Anyway, let's go face the goat pooper scooper.